Hey, good morning, everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Yes,
Requesting you to confirm the audio. I'm audible. Requesting all the members to confirm the audio through the chat option. I hope it's been loud and clear and there is no echo. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for the confirmation. Yeah. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Once again, welcome back to AZ500 technical event. So we are on the day 2. I request all the members to fill the attendance form in case if you are not filled yesterday, who is been joined the first time. I can see there are a few new members is been joined this for event for the first time. So in case if you're attending this event for the first time, request all you to fill the form, attendance form. In case already you're filled, you don't need to sign it. Only the 1 day attendance is sufficient. And end of the program, you'll be getting a certificate also. And in case if you're not joined the WhatsApp group, requesting all the members to join the WhatsApp group. That's been a professional connect. That will be the form where you can able to get all the latest notification about the event which is being organizing by us. So it's been a completely free event. Second one, it's been like a Discord link also. And in case if you're not liked or joined in the Discord channel, you can use that one also. So the WhatsApp link, once again, we are posting on in the Teams chat window, requesting all the members to join the. So yesterday we have been provided a couple of documents also. So all the documents it's been all the topic we have been discussed yesterday, all that documents has been shared. Yeah, attendance link will be posting you soon. Yeah, let's come back to the topic. We were discussing about a topic called VM connectivity, or we were discussing about a topic called the host security yesterday. So we understood how the host security is being enabled and what is the different way of communication. That is the topic we were discussing yesterday. So a couple of points we have learned in the last day session. So we understood a topic about a public IP address or a private IP address, and we understood using a public IP address only, we are able to connect to the VM, which is being hosted in the Microsoft Azure infrastructure. So the problem here we have, it's been like, in case if you're using a public IP address, a couple of concerns was raising here. One, it's about the cost part. Second one was it's about the security side, because cost was an important, because if you are considering a public IP address is not a free service, because there is a charge is been involved. So we need to ensure that in case if you are using a public IP address, this has been working as a pay as you go model. So we need to ensure that there is a charge. It's the so I'm just giving a scenario, like if you have 1,000 or 2,000 computers been hosted in an organization, and you have a um, uh, that many number of public IP address if you have been used, so that amount you may be getting as a OPEX bill. So if you're taking a large organization, uh, we are not interested for, or organization may be looking for, not interested for compromising the security side. So normally in an organization, they will be using a concept of gem server rather than hosting your old VM on into internet. We'll be using a concept of gem server, or few organization may be using a term called gateway server. So these are the two terms generally we are using, called a gem server or a gateway server. So I'm giving a scenario. If you're working for an organization, there is a multiple VM is being hosted. For example, like you have a VM1, VM2, and VM3. VM3. So yesterday we understood the moment when you create a VM, by default the public IP address and private IP address is been created. Now, in case if you're disassociating the term, we have used yesterday, it's called disassociation. Disassociation means that the IP address which you are removing from the VNet, or the um, IP address which you have been removing from the VNet, it's been basically known as a disassociation. Now, I'm giving a scenario. You are in an organization, you have a VM1 or a VM2 or a VM3 is being configured, and it's basically this got only the private IP address. Now, you have a private IP address is being available. For example, like you have a private IP address here. So you have a private IP address here, and if the user want to connect to Microsoft Azure VM, which is being hosted on the VM1 or a VM2 or a VM3, uh, if someone wants to connect here, since private IP address, you are not able to route in internet, so which you are not able to use. It's an internet, so it's called route. You are not able to internet here. We may have to use an alternate option, which you can able to route it, or which you can able to connect it in the or for making a connection to the Azure infrastructure. So organization will be using a concept called gem server. So it's called gem server is the concept generally we are using. So in the perimeter network, we will be installing a server with a public IP address. So you'll have a server. So this will act like a gem server. So this will take it up a gem server. I'm just saving as it's called gem server. Only this server will have a connectivity into internal organization. So this will have a public IP address, and rest of the members will have a private IP address. Also, anyone wants to connect to VM1 or a VM2 or a VM3, this will be connected through the private IP address. Let's simulate this lab here, how to connect to this VM, or how to connect to this internal connections here. Let's try to do a lab here. So we are trying to see the last sessions we have seen how one-to-one connection we are enabling. We understood like using a public IP address. This has been connected. So VM2 is being connected using a public IP address here. Now let's go back and try after removing a public IP address here, how this can be connected. I'm just sharing a screen. Just give me a second. I'm just connected to portal. Let me remove a couple of resource group is being created. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm just doing some housekeeping activities on the portal. So we need to wait a few minutes. So right now the housekeeping activities, like I'm just clearing a couple of already created resource here. So just to ensure that you won't be get confused here. So that the reason just clearing some few resources which have been created in the past. I'm just clearing that. So we need to wait a minute. So right now the deletion of the resource is being in progress. So right now you can able to see the resource group and network watcher service is been deleting here. So right now we are discussing about a topic called host security, how the connectivity to the host can be secured. That is the topic right now we are discussing. So almost deletion of the resource is being completing. You can able to see here. So deletion of the resource group. So final deletion is in progress. Okay. So it's been taking time than is expected. So let's wait. Generally, it will take only 1 minute. Now this time it's been took a few minutes extra. Anyway, don't worry. So barely. Let me initiate another resource group creation also. Look like almost all it's been finished. So we need to wait. So let me create a parallel. Let me create a resource group called. Let me create a resource group called AZ500. I'm just creating, or let's create. It's called a finance department. So I'm just creating a resource group called finance. This is I'm creating in East 2 years data center. I'm created a resource here. Okay, I just created a resource group here. Now in this resource group, let me create a two VM here. I'm going to create a VM inside a finance department. Let's create a two VM. Now I'm just connecting VM1. I'm using VM. It's been on the East US availability zone, and all this topic is not needed right now. I'm just selecting the operating system. So easy one. I'm just let me take it. It's called Windows Data Center. I just given admin and given it's been finance. So finance is the term we are using. So this is the IP address I will use. Leave it. I just created a VM1. So right now we are creating a VM, and VM is created in the East US data center. So right now we are trying to see how we can able to give host security or the connection security to your infrastructure. That is a topic right now we are discussing. Part of that, we are trying to simulate a lab. So you can able to see on the screen the VM1 in the East US data center is created. Yes, Raj, it was created yesterday, and you may be knowing like this is an OPEX model. It's been working, right? So in case if 24 hours, if I'm just keeping a VM, there will be some charge we may have to pay. So yesterday we have been decommissioned that server because it's an OPEX model, right? Right now the account I'm using, it's in a free account. So there will be some charge it's been available. So I don't want to go for any charge because yesterday, last 24 hours, we are not using any labs, right? So I've been cleared that VM after our yesterday's event. So that's the reason again we have been creating this one. So right now, so it's hardly it will take a minute time for creating this one. So that is an advice to all of us here. In case if you're using a free account, ensure that end of your lab or end of your exercise, ensure that you are decommissioning this server. The reason is like few people may be thinking like, can I shut down the server and is there any charge? No. In case if you're not, in case if you're shutting down your VM, there will be some compute cost will be there. So you need to see it's like is there any kind of a challenge it's been coming like because if you're seeing a normal scenario, many times people may be thinking like I can shut down a server so I can able to save a cost. No, there's the one point you need to remember here. For example, like let me take you into whiteboard parallel. Right now the VM installation is progress. Before that I thought of giving this information to you. Now you may be having a thought like if I'm doing a VM creation or any lab, for example, like if I'm shutting down this VM, there won't be any charge. No, all of us know there is an OPEX model your VM has been working. So your cost is being calculated based on two aspects. One is a compute cost. Second one is a storage cost also. For example, like if this computer is in off mode, there won't be any charge for your compute cost, but there will be a charge for your storage because storage is been reserved for you. So you need to ensure that the cost is been there will be a cost is be charging against your storage. So in case we are not using, I recommend you to decommission or remove that server. Do we also need to follow along to the video if you have a Microsoft Azure installed on our computer? Your computer, you're not going to install Microsoft Azure, right? This has been completely on the Microsoft portal. So you're saying like there is a VM. You're talking about a VM or can you rephrase your question, Ron? Ron? So let's go back to the Perley. Let me go back to your portal. Yeah. So you can able to see here VM deployment has been completed. Right now, all of us understood. In case if I need to access this VM1, what was the method we were following? We were following the method of connecting through the public IP address, right? In case if I want to connect to this VM, I would have I was using a IP address of this, for example, like I mean. So right now you can able to see I've been connected. I've been connected to this VM using a public IP address. So give me a second. Right now you can able to see. Right now you can able to see here. So you have a VM has been here. So in case if I need to connect to this VM, I was using a public IP address. Let me give connect, and I given the username and password. So I given a username and password, and it's been connected. You can able to see here. We are connected. Now this method is okay if you have a limited number of a VM. Now think you are in a customer place. You have a 10,000 VM is been hosted. Now in case if you want to connect to this VM, how generally this is been connected. This basically like you have a VM is been hosted with a public IP address. So right now the public IP address is needed for connecting this one. All of us may be able to see the connection RDP is being followed or it's been connected using a public IP address. I hope all are clear with this point, right? If it is clear, can you comment it on in a chat window? Any question related to the connection part so far it's been discussed. If you're good, can you comment it on a chat so at least I can ensure we both are on the same page. So one single comment. So yeah, Eric, thank you, Eric. Good morning, Eric. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Akram. Expecting the response from the older members here. So just to ensure that virtually we are not right now, I'm not seeing you. So please just need to get some feedback. feedback like, are we on the same page? Is there any confusion? So how do you ensure that we both are traveling together? In case if there is some area you're thinking like we need to some additional support is needed, or some do you want me to repeat some portion? I'm happy to do that, because you are taking, yeah, you are taking your personal time for attending this one. We want the session needs to be fruitful to you. Yeah, thank you. So few members, it's been posted their status over the chat window. Thank you for that. Okay, so right now we are in a situation, VM is being available, public IP address is being configured. Now I'm taking another scenario here. I've been removing this public IP address from here. I'm just quoting a network. I'm just talking on this network here, and you can able to see I'm just removing public IP address here. So right now I need to connect it here. So before that, I'll do one thing. Let me create one more VM, so you'll be able to understand the concept. So let me put one more VM here, okay? So it's been easy for you to understand. I'm just creating one more VM on in the same location. Right now, the VM2 also, it's been, there is a delay on the presentation. No. Uh, we are doing a lab here, Mac. So I've been showing any uh, presentation right now. So we are trying to show some case studies and labs here. So no, this is taking a time, Mac, because Mac, it's been like there is a delay on the voice, or it's been on the screen. On the screen, let me check. It's like I have a proper internet connection. So if you can see here, I have a good internet connection. So this is almost a 70 plus MB has been unavailable on this. So let me see that. If anything, maybe you maybe think see like the screen only you're seeing. Maybe that's the reason, because Azure portal, there's only the deployment in progress. There are not any changes here happening here. You may be seeing like only the this area. It's only one line is being given here. Currently, we are creating a VM via public IP address RDP to VM. No, we are not creating a VM via public IP address. We are creating a VM via cloud portal, and we are connecting to RDP of to that VM through a public IP address. Okay, through public IP address, we are not creating anything here. Through public IP address, we are connected to that VM. That may be the right statement, because all the VM configuration we have been done with the help of a portal.azure.com. Right now, you can able to see here there is a two VM is being created here. You can able to see you have a VM1 and a VM2. There is a two VM is being created, and it's got a public IP address also. Right now, I'm going to remove these two public IP address from here. So let's see how this can be connected now. Now I'm connecting public IP address here. So for example, like I have a VM here. So associate. I'm just disassociated here. Now you can able to see the VM1 public IP address is been removed from here. To go back, the VM2 networking you can able to see. I'm removing here also. You can able to see here. So there is a so right now we have removed a public IP address from both the machine. You can able to see VM1 and VM2. Let me refresh. You may be able to see the public IP address is got removed from here. Right now you are not able to see a public IP address. Right now if I'm trying to connect to this VM, for example, like if I go to VM and try to connect it using RDP, the option I'm going to get it only about a private IP address. So all of us here already it's been aware that uh, private IP address which we cannot use in internet. In case if you have a VPN, I would have able to use that, but right now I don't have any VPN connection is being available here, so I won't be able to use a private IP address. Now let's go back to the whiteboard. Now we are in a situation. You have a two VM is being configured. So you have a two VM is being configured. So you have a two VM has been configured here. You have a VM1, VM2. These are the two VM has been configured here. Now this got IP address 10.0.0.4 and this got 10.0.0.5. Now I'm a user. I need to connect to this two computer. I don't have any option is been available here. So right now I'm going to implement a concept code. Right now due to security reason or for providing a host security, we have removed a public IP address. Now for connecting this one, I can use a couple of methods here. One method, the host security generally provider with a gem server. Second method, it's been like I'll be using a bastion service. So you may be using another concept called firewall, or you maybe have to use a concept of VPN. So these are the options available in case if you want to make any kind of a security for your connectivity. Right now, the private IP address only is available. So let's start with a first concept called gem server, how the gem server can be used here for connecting. So gem server is nothing. It's typically another virtual server or a VM server which got a public IP address. Right now, this the reason I'm facing here, like if in case if I want to connect to VM1 or a VM2, right now I'm not able to connect it because I don't have any option to connect it because public IP address is not the reason I'm not able to connect it here. So going to configure another server. So it's called gateway server. Few organization may be using a term called gateway server. Few organization have seen they are using a another term called gem server also. Few organization may be using a term called gem server. So I'll be using a gem server on in the same network. Let's create another server here, gem server. This will have public IP address and this will have a private IP address also. Whatever IP address is been available here, the same network range, I'll be configuring IP address for this computer also. So with the help of that, I'll be able to connect it here. Let's see that. Now we are going back to a portal. We'll be configuring another server here. Now I'm configuring another server, for example, like Zoom server. Okay. You can able to see gem server, the same location I'm configuring. You can able to see in the same location it's been configured and review and create it. Okay, so I've been configured another server here. So let's wait for the gem server. Now we name we are given, it's been a gem server here. Okay, name you can be able to give any name. Okay, depends upon the organization naming standard. You can be able to use any server here. So you can able to see here. So validation has been completed. I'm just enabled creation. So the gem server creation has been in progress. So the gem server creation is in progress. So we need to wait a minute. So gem server creation completed here. Right now you can able to see there is a gem server has been available, and you have a 2 VM. I'm just giving an example of 2 VM, but in a real or in a production scenarios, you may be having a more number of VM. Right now you can able to see only this server is got a public IP address. Rest of the members is being configured with a private IP address only. Now, if you are going and checking a private IP address, you may be seeing like VM1, it's been configured with 10.0.0.4, 10.3 dot series because we used a network 3 dot series. So 3.0.4. If you go to VM2, you may be able to see this has been configured with uh, a series of 3.5, and gem servers also it's been on the same network and been configured with 3.7, 3.6. This is the IP address we use. Now, right now, if I need to connect to this server, right now, if you are able to see here, let's go back here into the whiteboard. All the questions I'll pick after this lab. So in case if anything is there, either you can post it on the chat window or I'll take it after that. Okay, so that's not an issue. So right now you can able to see this VM got yeah, the IP address right now it's got this VM got 10.0. This got 0.3.7, and it's got an internal IP address. It's got an IP address. It's so this got 10.0.3.6 also, and this got a public IP address also. Now I'm a user. I'm sitting in Canada or some X or Y location, and I need to connect to VM1 and VM2. Directly connecting, it's not possible here because this IP address is not routable in internet. So I have only option is been like through the gateway server, because if you are seeing this gem server, this got a public IP address and this got a private IP address. private IP address also. So through that, I'll connect it. So how will I connect? I'll take an IP address or a public IP address of your um, public IP address of your gem server. This is the public IP address. So I'll connect using 172 series. So this is the public IP address here. So right now um, I'm connecting to the gem server using a public IP address of your gem server here. So you can able to see the connection has been established, or the connection has been, you can able to see the connection has been established. See, I'm been connecting. You can able to see on the screen I'm connecting a RDP2. I hope you can able to see the desktop. Yes, right. You can able to see gem server. It's been connected. I'm just giving yes. You can able to see the gem server is being connected. There is a it's been connected now. You can able to see yes. This is the server you've been connected. Now, right now, if you can able to see, you have been connected to 172.174.63.232. This is the gem server. Now, our requirement is been totally different here. Now, I'm looking for the connection to be established into VM1 and VM2 here, right? I need to connect to VM1 and VM2 here. So for making, I need to connect to here. I need to connect to VM1 and VM2. But right now, I have taken a RDP connection to the gateway server. Now, from the gateway server, I'll be connecting to VM1 or a VM2 with the help of a private IP address here. Now, if you go back here, I'll be connecting. I know what is the IP address of that particular computer, right? So I'll be typing ping 10 dot. So what is that IP address? It's a 3.0.4. This is the IP address it's been using. So I'll be taking RDP connection there. So I'll take RDP connection. I'll be taking maybe ICMP may be blocking over there. So don't worry. That by default your defender is blocking that. So let's give IP address here. So from the jump server using a, you can able to see using a private IP address I'm connecting. I'm not using any public IP address there, right? I've been connected to jump server using a public IP address. From there using a private IP address, again I'm taking RDP. So see, so again I'm taking RDP. So this is the way generally the organizations are connecting RDP connections or providing a security to your host. The reason it's been like I don't need the VM which is been hosted inside your internal network. Right now it's been not exposed to internet, right? Only one server which is being kept inside a perimeter. Only it's been connecting to external network. So external network, it's been external network. What happened? External network, it's been going through a firewall. Right now if you're seeing here in a real scenario, if you're taking if you're going on a real scenario, if you're just taking a whiteboard, okay, right now if you can able to see the gateway server, it's been placed in between. You will have a firewall also. So in firewall, either it will be placed outside or inside also. So in the firewall, we will define a configuration saying that packet only to this gateway server, either HTTP or NATing will be enabled. Only that packet will be allowed. So all your internal network, for example, like you have internal many network like VM2, VM3 or thousand of machine is there. Everything will be passing through a gateway server only. So this will be connecting using a private connection. Now you may be having a doubt how many user can be able to connect at a time to a gateway server, how the load balancing is being generally done. Basically, right now you maybe notice this has been working with the help of a RDP protocol. By default, only two connection only it's been allowed. So if you want more number of the users to be connected, you maybe heard about a concept of a terminal server license or a CAL license. With the help of that, with you need more number of you need more number of the client access license, or you need to have a more number of terminal server license to be configured here, or you'll be enabling a load balancing also here. Right now, if you come back to your portal, you have seen your VM2 is being connected here. For example, like in case if I need to connect to the second computer, for example, like what was the other VM? VM2 IP address was 0.7 or something, right? Or 0.6. I forgot. Yeah, 0.5. So in case if I want to connect it, I may connect using that IP. See, I can able to take all that RDP connections here. So you can able to see. So you can able to connect it here. So you can able to connect the portal here. See, so as a second computer also it's been connected. See, I have a multiple computer can be connected with the help of this. So you can able to connect it with the help of so you can able to see here. So you can able to see multiple remote desktop can be connected here. I'm posing here. This concept is been clear to everyone. In case if you have any question, request you to post it on in the chat window. So in case if it's not clear or you want to simulate it again, or if you have any confusion, let's have a discussion or a debate. Is it necessary to disable the public IP address and create another VM server to VM? Uh, yeah, can the reason was like it's not mandatory that we need to disable a public IP address. The reason can I mean disable this. Um, if you have seen the cloud portal, all the VM is being configured with a public IP address. And already you understood if you are coming on a public IP address part, it's not a free resource. So it's based on number of the hours you're using and number of IPs you're using. You have to pay the amount to the cloud service provider. I'm not saying it's Azure alone. Any cloud service provider you're taking, public IP address is not a free product. Can you think a scenario you are working a client or a customer, please? There you have a 10,000 VMs are running. All the 10,000 VMs are uh, configured with a public IP address. And all the 10,000 computer is really not needed a public IP address, saying that few are almost 80% of the VM are using only for internal communication. There is no point of keeping a public IP address to the VM, right? Because cost is involved. So that's the reason we are disabling this one. Only the computer really needed the public IP address will be providing, or in case if you want to connect, you may be using this kind of a services, or you may be using this kind of a mode of operation. The second reason can it's been like you think like all the 10,000 computers are being connected to internet, one network is been got compromised or one computer is got compromised, that may be going to affect the entire infrastructure, right? Now Candy has been using something and it's been that is got it's been hacked by a vendor due to some ransomware or X or Y. You are indirectly giving an access to your network into the hacker or a cyber expert on other side, right? For providing this kind of a security, for avoiding this kind of issues, we'll be using this kind of a mode of operation in the real scenario. Now, I'm getting another question from Raj. Mr. Raj is asking like, if a website is being or app is being hosted on a VM1, how will a user is being connecting? There are multiple ways, Raj, we can able to configure this one. Let me take you into a um, um, portal or into whiteboard. Your question is something like this. I hope you can able to see the whiteboard. I'm just loading. Okay. I understood, Raj, your question is something like this. You are in a customer place. The customer is being hosted a website. Website name is raj.com. Screen is not coming, Himal, now. It was loading previously. Is it coming? I've been using a whiteboard now. Yes, thank you, Raj, for confirming. Yeah, Raj has been hosted here, and a VMs, for example, like your VM. On top of that, your IAS web service is been hosted. Now, this got only a private IP address 10.0.04.4, and I'm a user here. Okay, I'm not a good drawer. Okay, think this is a person want to connect it here. Now, I need to connect to this website. Raj is asking like, if the private IP address I'm using and if I have configured only a firewall, how this will be connected. This kind of a situation generally, Raj, will be using a service called firewall. In a firewall will have a public IP address and you will have a private IP address also. So your website will be published with the help of a public IP address of this firewall. Now in the firewall, you will be enabling a feature called NAT, network address translation. You will be enabling a feature. So if anyone has been connecting saying that I need to connect to raj.com with a public IP address XYZ. So in the NATing, we'll check, is there any website internally it's been hosted or it's been configured. So that request will be translated. The term is called translated to the respective private IP address. We will say if there is any public IP address with the help of a NATing, this will be translated here. So technically, Raj, in a reality or in a production or in a real scenario, you will be using a NATing feature for doing this kind of a translation. Is it clear now? If yes, I request you to confirm through a chat option. Raj, I hope your doubt is got cleared. And Ken, your doubt also regarding the public IP address. Raj Shrestha, just yeah. Yeah, we are planning the next step, Raj. We are planning to have a topic called Microsoft Azure Firewall. There I'll be covering about three topics. One, I'll be covering about routing. Second one, I'll be covering about NATing kind of a feature, like in case if I need to connect it through a firewall, how the NATing can be enabled. And I'll be discussing like in an organization, you want to block some kind of a website like a youtube.com or facebook.com or a google.com or X or Y website if you want to block in an organization, how that blocking can be enabled in Azure side. I'll be covering that topic also during this event. So that's already it's been included in the topic and we'll have that. Thank you. Yeah, this the same event Raj will be covering this one. So you can attend session on the next 5 days, the same thing. So thank you team. I hope the connectivity of a gem server, the way gateway server is being implemented in your organization, is it clear to everyone? Any question anyone? Now, if it is good, we will be moving to a next topic called Azure Bastion Service. So there is a next topic we are discussing is called Azure Bastion Service. So there's a next topic is called Azure Bastion Service. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's take a 5 minutes break and come back and we'll be discussing about Azure Bastion Service. Then we'll be a concept called NSG. There's an end topic will be discussed. So let's take a short 5 minutes break and come back. I hope you are back. I hope you are back. I hope you are back. If you are able to, yeah, thank you. So let's come back here. So let's start. I can see few people has been commented on the chat. They are back. It was a short break. Now let's come back onto the whiteboard now. So what is the lab right now? It's been, I can see Muhammad has been raising the hand. Muhammad, you want to ask any question? Request you to use the chat option because it's have a large audience here. So enabling a mic for everyone. Practically, we have some difficulty. So requesting to use the chat option to ask any questions, or you can post it the WhatsApp group as well. So we are continuously monitoring the chat and the WhatsApp group in case if you need any assistance on that, requesting to use this both the forums. So Mohammed, so I hope you're good. Okay. Or you maybe raise the hand saying that I'm back. Okay. So I got your point. Thank you. So right now, the lab right now we are done. It's about a concept called providing a host security, how the connection can be established in easy way, and how the connection can be configured in a proper secure way. So the topic we have learned, you have placed a jump server on in the perimeter network. Jump server is most of the organization have seen this may be configured with a Windows server with a multiple or it's in a more CAL license. So the jump server will be connected to all the VM which is been hosted inside the organization. And this has been connected to cloud. This is the way it's been configured. So you have a firewall, it's been configured. And this is the way the connection is being established. Now, if you're seeing this, not firewall, this is your jump server. Okay, so now right now, if you're seeing this kind of a mode of operation, it's been good and we can able to see people can able to connect it here. But most of the situation, if you're seeing here, management of this VM also it's been a responsibility of a user. We had a discussion about a cloud NAST model. You maybe heard about a PaaS, you maybe heard about IaaS, you maybe heard about a SaaS service models, right? So the way the responsibility has been shared, so based on that, you have a PaaS or a SaaS or a SaaS options, or it's been provided. Now, if you're seeing here, uh, if you're considering the gem server, this is acting as a ISaaS service. ISaaS means that infrastructure as a service model. This has been working. So means OS management and all the configuration on top of this also is being responsibility of a user account or a user or a end user. Now, some of the organization may be not preferring this mode of or it's in a model, right? They may be saying like, no, I don't want to take a responsibility or I don't want to take a headache of managing this VM. So that kind of a situation, you can use another PaaS product, saying that Microsoft is giving another service available on in the portal. With the help of that, you can able to connect to the internal network. You don't need to configure any VM or you don't need to configure anything about the OS side. You can enable a simple service. It's called a Bastion service. It's called a Bastion service. If any user want to connect it with the help of a Bastion service, you can able to connect to the all the VM which is being hosted here. So this Bastion service will get a public IP address. This will get a private IP address also. So Bastion is generally, it's been configured per VNet level. So in case if you have a multiple VNet, it's been configured in your organization. But for example, like multiple network is been configured in your organization. Each VNet, you have to enable the Bastion service. So you need to remember a couple of points here. Bastion service is a PaaS product. Bastion service is a will be getting a public IP address, and this will be getting a private IP address also. And once your Bastion is been enabled, the entire connection will be going through HTTPS or HTTP mode. Because if you are seeing a gem server or a direct connection, you may be seeing like all the communication or control was doing with the help of a RDP protocol. Is a remote desktop protocol was the tool or the protocol we have used for making a connection. Now, when it is coming here, uh, if you're using a Bastion, RDP is not going to use here. Instead of that, it may be using a HTTP or a HTTP connection. So let's see how this has been working. I'm giving a two scenario here. I'll be implementing a two scenario here. I'll be using a first VNet here. It's called a prod VNet. Prod VNet. I'll be creating a network called prod VNet. I'll be using an IP address 10.0.0/24. I'll be creating another network. It's called development network. I'll be using another network called 1.0./24. Here I'll install a computer VM2. Here I'll install another computer VM1. So this will only with the private IP address. So this will be getting 0.4 and this will be getting 1.0.4 also. Now I'm a user. I'll be connecting this. Previously we were using a firewall or a gem server, right? We won't having any gem server right now here. So we'll see with the help of a Bastion service, we are replacing your gem server or a gateway server with a feature called Bastion service. With the help of a Bastion service, let's see how we can able to connect to your internal network. I'm taking you to the board now. So for doing a lab, we may have to create two virtual network. I may have to delete this computers here because otherwise you may get confused here. So I don't want you to get me in some kind of a situation saying that, hey, where there is a, from where this BNet is got came, where this computer is been using, people may be having some kind of a confusion. So I don't want that. So I'll be deleting that. Just give me a second. Barely let me. So resource group deletion is in progress. So we need to wait it. So because we are trying to do a Azure Bastion lab. So doing a couple of housekeeping activities here. So just clearing all the VNet everything. So to ensure that we are making a ensuring that this resource has been cleared here. So otherwise you will get confused here. So I don't want that. So let's wait a minute. So a little taking time. So let's wait. So we are going to create two VNet now. Okay. Now we'll come to VNet portion possible after this session. So don't worry about how to create a VNet and how to enable a DDoS. And so don't worry about that. So almost screen share is not too slow. Darshika, it's been like it's been happening on that's like you may be able to see there is a clearing has been happening on the back end. So it's not that I'm moving a screen. Screen is the same only because back end this activity has been happening. So we are not moved any screen here. So this has been happening on the back end. So screen will be same only. If you can able to see on the top, you may be able to see there is a some progress bar. You can able to see on the right side top small letters going. So that's the reason. It's not that I'm not moving any screen here. So we need to wait because for doing this lab, we need to ensure that there is no resources being available here. So you can able to see. Yeah, right now deletion is being completed. Right now we are able to I'm creating a two virtual network here. We are planning to have a Bastion service here. So I'm creating a two VNet. One I've been creating in a inside a resource group called HR. Inside a HR, I'm creating two VNet. One I'm creating is a prod VNet. Prod VNet have been connected. For example, like let's create in a East US data center. So East US data center IP address I given 10.0.6. Subnet I given it's been subnet E. Subnet E I given. Reviewed and created. So virtual network prod VNet on the East US data center is being created. Now I'm creating a VM here. You can able to see I'm just creating a VM1 in the same network prod VNet. I given no public IP address has been created. I don't have any. I'm not creating any public IP address here. Okay, I'm saying that public IP address is not required. So let's go back to the previous window. I'll be getting error message because I didn't give an username and password. So I may get a error message. Yes, because we have selected Windows, I need to provide a username and password. So the VM1 on the prod VNet we have been creating. Now you can able to see the VM1 on the production network has been creating here. So let's wait. It may take hardly a minute time. You can able to see on the right side notification tab, there is a message you're getting like it's been completed. You can able to see this um, VM creation is in a progress state. You can able to use that. So it's been the deployment is in progress. You can able to see on the screen. So deployment has been completed here. Right now you can go back to VM. Or before that, you can able to see there is a VNet is been created. It's a prod VNet. And you may be able to see the address space for this VNet is 10.0.0.16. And the virtual machine is been right now, it's been associated with this VM. You can able to see the VM1. It's been associated with the same VNet. So look like there is some information that's been, yeah, right now you can able to see it's been associated with broad VNet. And there is no public IP address also. It's been assigned. It's got an IP address 10.0.0.4. Now, if you go back to the whiteboard, the lab so far we have done. Right now, if you go back to the whiteboard, we have completed VNet creation. Prod VNet we have been created. Inside a prod VNet, we have configured 10.0.0.4. This address space we have configured, and we have mapped VM1 into this one. So basically, the moment when you attach to VNet, already you're aware it's been getting an IP address here. So you have IP address 10.0.0.4 is got, and there is no public IP address also here. I can able to see there is some on the chat window Abhishek is posted. So if you give a public IP address to VM, that can be, then we can delete it. Then when we connect our winter best instead, yes, we can able to delete that at any. Is the right term Abhishek? Generally we are using a cloud. Is not a delete. The right term you need to use on a public IP address is called disassociate. That's the right term generally we are using on in a cloud. So it's not a deleting a public IP address. We are saying a term called disassociating the uh, public IP address. That the term or the terminology generally we are using on in a cloud scenario. So if someone want to remove, you can able to use disassociate the IP address. I can see Mr. Jim Oliver has been raising the hand. Jim, you have any question? If yes, I request you to use the chat window for posting that. Jim, waiting for your reply. Any question related to the creation here? If you're good, post it as good, or in case if you are VM digit means that virtual machine, like the physical server, when you're mode on in a cloud, generally this is known as virtual machine because all the resource previously we were using on an on-premises or a legacy, you may be using a physical one, right? But when you're moving on in a cloud, uh, it's been managed by the uh, cloud service provider. So it's been used in a virtual environment. I'm coming to that point, JV. It's like what is the use of a Bastion service and what is the use of a gem server? There's a point right now we are discussing. So the point here it's been like, in case if you're seeing gem server, JV, like you may be seeing like completely the OS creation, how you configured a gem server. You may be seeing like first you have created a VM. On top of that, you have installed an operating system. Then you configured a public IP address. End-to-end responsibility was handled by us, or in a simple term or in a cloud terminology, we can say, or the ISAS function was being done by us. Now, if you're thinking like, or the customer or a client saying like, no, I'm not interested for a ISAS operation here. I need to just connect a VM using a Bastion service. I don't want to configure OS, or I don't want to configure any kind of operating system. Then you can able to use the option called you can able to use an option called uh, you can able to use an option of fire. You can able to use the concept of Bastion service. I'm enabling a Bastion service. Then you'll be able to understand this one. I'm not able to see the follow the process. Which process, Susan, you are not able to identify? Seeing the tabs are changing and not seeing from where the resource is being accessed. Uh, which one you are, Susan? Because I've been followed the. Okay, so I'll help you on that. Don't worry about. Okay, is it then say like a function? I we can say gem server is acting like a firewall, but you're not getting all the firewall features because when you're considered in South, it's been like a firewall that got an intelligent mechanism like a FQDN filtering, website filtering, NATing, or a network rule or application rule. There are many features is being enabled on in a firewall. Bastion is something like it's kind of doing a kind of a NATing kind of thing, just receiving, taking a request from your outside or external network and allowing only the RDP connection. Other than that, it's not doing any kind of a management here. I'm coming to that point, how the GUI of a Bastion, I'm coming to that point. Susan, maybe you may have to just I'll take you into that. So like when you are taking option tab, I'll ensure that it's been going a bit slow on that part. Okay, I've taken your feedback and I'll ensure that this option is being. I'll show you this the right way of accessing the resource. Don't worry about that. So right now, if you're seeing the screen, you have a prod VNet has been created and you have a VMR which has been available. Now you can able to see there is a two net has been available here. You have a VM is been available, which is got a private IP address. Right now, all of us understood private IP address you cannot use in internet, and you don't have any Bastion service also. Now a user wants to connect it here. Let's see how this is to be connected. Now before moving to this, let's create one more VNet here. Okay, so there is one more VNet on a different address. Let's create it here. So Jim, I can see your again you raise the hand. Request you to post it on the chat window because mic is being not enabled. So request you to use the chat window in case if you have any question. So I'm creating a dev also. Dev also it's been creating, and I'm going to install it on a VM2. So let's create a development network here. Now, in case if you want to create any network here, so let me few people having concerns like from where we are taking an option, don't worry. So right now we are going to create a virtual network here. In case if you want to create, you need to go to the search bar, which is been showing on the right side, on the middle of the portal, Azure portal. So there you can type the command called virtual network. Click on the virtual network here. So this will be opening a window. This is the place where you are creating or deleting or what the network managements are doing. So click on the network tab here. Now network tab here, select a resource group and give a name DevNet. So DevNet, you can connect it. Now I'm giving an IP address here. So this is the place IP address has been provided. I'm giving a different network address here, saying that 10.1.0.16. I just reviewed and created. So review tab will validate all the informations are clearly you are populated or given. It will validate. If the validation has been completed, you will get a message that validation has been passed. Give its option called created. So right now, creation is in progress. So let's wait. So right now you can able to see here the deployment is in progress here. So you can able to see the deployment is been completed here. You can see the deployment has been completed. Now, if you go back to the virtual network, if I'm clicking a virtual network from the resource panel, you may be able to see there is a dev net is it's been created here. Right now you can able to see there is dev network is been created in the same data center. Now, if I'm clicking on the development net, you may be able to see there is another network is being created. Now I'm going to create one more virtual machine here. So I'm just going to virtual machine tab here. I'm clicking on create. I'm creating a second VM called server one or a VM2. Any name you can able to use it. For example, like let me give a name called server one here. I given details saying that no infrastructure is needed. The same network I been given this HR, the same resource group I given, and I've been attached to into development network. See, I have been attached to development one. So reviewed and created. Now validation, some error we got because look like we forgot to give the information about the username and password. So it's saying that, hey admin, you forgot to fill some basic details here. So you can fill it. So let's create it, review it here. So deployment is been progress, have been created. So we need to wait. So we need to wait a minute. So deployment is in almost in a progress state. So let's wait for that. Yeah, right now you can able to see there is a second VM also has been configured here. Now, if you're seeing here, both the VMs right now you can able to see there is a two VM has been created here. You can able to see server one and server VM1 and server one is been created on the same region, but the difference has been like this got different VNet has been attached. Right now you can able to see this has been attached to a different virtual network development network. Right now you can able to see this has been attached to different one. Yeah, regarding getting another question on the chat regarding about the pricing of the VM. Is it per VM or there is a specific number? So Mark, pricing has been always it's been considered or it's been depend upon what type of the resource or what type of the configuration you are using. Right now, Mark, if you can able to see here, the moment when you are trying to create a VM here, depends upon which region you're selecting. For example, like I've been selected an operating system. For example, like you can able to see I've been selected Windows Server 2019. In the bottom you may be able to see there is a price tag. Right now you can able to see near to a size you may be able to see there is a size is given. See 4,300. Right now I've been connected from India and the amount is been showing on in the local currency here. For example, like the same VM, I've been opted in another country instead of West US. I'm selecting some another country like a Sweden. You may be able to see the price tag is been changing here. See, price is again got changed. See, the price is got changed. Now, if I'm changing to another country, for example, like it's been I'm selected is been Japan East, you may be able to see the price is again has been changed. See, 5,000 rupees. It all depends upon the country and the local resource or the price tag is been attached to that country. So the pricing is been depends upon that. That's one reason. So depends upon which data center you're hosting. Second point, what is the type of the configuration you are selecting? Right now you can able to see the size, the different size Microsoft is been providing. For example, like if you're saying like a another configuration, for example, like you want to go for a RAM size of 32 GB. If you have selected this, the price is again got changed. See, price is being changed to 27,000. So connecting to your question, your price of your VM always is been depend upon which country you are been hosting. And second one, it's been like, what is the configuration you are been selecting? So based on these two factors, the pricing will be a decider. So each you will have a price tag for both the computers or both the price. So cloud is a costing your life. So uh, off record, I think Kevin, I'll, I'll answer this question. So in a public forum, I don't want to answer this question. So I think I'm skipping a question purposefully. So sorry for that. So yeah, I think Mark, I hope you have been cleared with the reason, right? And all rest of the services will depends upon pricing about services and type of the mode you're using. For example, like I'm just giving a scenario of Azure Firewall. Firewall price is been depends upon what is the type of the firewall you're taking. Now, firewall may be having three mode you may be see able to see. Firewall price, if you're seeing Azure Firewall price, you may be able to see pricing part. Yeah, now if you can able to see there are three mode you can able to configure. Depends upon what is the type of the feature you need. You can able to configure in three mode, like a basic, standard, and a premium. So per hour, the charge has been clear. So all service having different way the pricing and SLE is been calculated. So always we need to refer the Microsoft document page that will give you a clear clarity about pricing and type of the feature you are getting and whether that product is being supported in that region also. Connecting to mark your question, always you need to refer the documentation because all products are not available in all data center also. So let's come back to the topic here. Right now we have a two VM has been created. Now two VM has been configured without a public IP address. I think server one is got a public IP address, right? Let me remove that also. Let me remove the public IP address here. So let me go to the correction and remove here. Yeah, so it's been removed a public IP address here. So you can able to see the associate, disassociate here. So I've been disassociated public IP address of this one. So let's see how this has been working. So public IP address is being removed here. Now, if you go to virtual machine, I don't have a public IP address right now here, and this got only private IP address. So all of us already aware. Previously, we were using a gem server, and with the help of a gem server, we were connecting. Right now, there is no gem server also available here. So now we are maybe thinking like how to connect to this VM. So we'll be using a concept called Bastion service. You may be able to see here, Bastion is being enabled in a VNet ways. Right now, you can able to see. Right now, when the moment when you click connect, RDP and SSH, there's other two option you are getting. And bottom one, you may be able to see another option called Bastion service. Now, if you're using this one, this will enable a service in a per VNet. I'll show you that. Right now, if I'm enabling this one, I'm just clicking an option called deploy Bastion. Click on this. You don't need to worry about it manually right now. I'm just enabling a Bastion service here. Let's see what really happening on in the system. We need to just wait it. Right now on the top, you may be able to see there is a subnet has been creating. Let's wait for that. Right now you can able to see I've been enabling a Bastion service. So let's wait. It's been clearing the Bastion has been enabling. So it will take hardly 3 to 4 minutes for enabling a Bastion service. We need to be a bit patient. Yeah, Albert, you raise your hand. Any question from your side, Albert? Okay, no problem, Albert. It's been Oh, sorry, it's been my mic is went in a mute mode. Is it clear now? S- in between my mic is went in a mute mode. Sorry, I was speaking actually last 5 minutes. So I was saying in an organization you may be able to see both the modes. So automatically my mic has been went in a mute mode. So sorry that. Right now I'm saying the Bastion service has been in a progress state. You may be able to see there is a couple of action has been happening on in the Bastion service. The notification area, you may be able to see there is a network interface added and there is a subnet has been added and the Bastion is in a progress state. So we have to wait. Generally 3 to 5 minutes is the normal time generally it used to take. Now this today it's been time. So not sure what is the reason behind that. Not sure is there any outage or slowness feeling on Azure portal. I need to refer the documents. So we need to wait. So in your organization in Germany, if you're taking organization, you may be able to see both the mode of operations. You may be able to see you have a um, um, Bastion service and you may be able to see um, client as well, like gateway servers also you'll be able to see. So both options you will may be able to see here. So right now the installation is in a progress state. Subnet has been created. Now we are waiting for us to create Bastion service in progress. Let's wait. So it's been yeah, that's been good. Now Bastion has been completed. Now you can able to see there is a Bastion has been created. Now let's go back. Right now you can able to see the Bastion is being enabled here. Now if you go to the VM right now here, you have a there is no change. You may be able to see it here. So right now you can able to see. Right now if I'm selecting a VM, you may not be able to see any difference here. Now, Bastion is a service on in a Microsoft or is a resource on in a Microsoft portal. Now, the moment if you are clicking a Bastion service, you may be able to see there is a Bastion service has been enabled here. Right now, you can able to see there is a Bastion service has been enabled in the development network. Right now, you can able to see this has been created a Bastion service in a development network. So let's see how this has been used. For example, like you have two VM here. One it's been created a server one and one it's been created a VM1 here. Now, in case if I need to access this VM, right now if I'm clicking on a server one and right now you can able to see where this VM has been attached. Can you comment it on a chat? Where this VM has been, which network this has been attached? Can you comment it on in the chat window? Which network this has been attached? Can you comment it on in the chat window? Yes, it's been attached into a development network. Now, if you go to other virtual machine, can you comment which network this has been attached? This network, this VM1, where this has been attached, VM1. Can you comment it on in the chat? This has been attached in prod winnet. Great. Now let's go back to the server one. Server one, if I need to connect it, I'm selecting an option called Bastion. So the moment it's been connected a Bastion here, you can able to see server one, it's getting a window here, say asking like, provide me the username and password. So here I need to provide the username and password of my VM. I'm giving this the username and password I've been provided at the time of creation. Right now, it will ask for a pop-up. The pop-up is already been disabled here, so that's the reason it's directly going. Right now, you can able to see without a public IP address through a bastion service in your organization, you may be using a VDI, right? Similar way, you may be able to see using a browser, HTTP browser, I'm accessing here. When you are creating a bastion service, we haven't provided any details about OS, or we haven't provided any details about the configuration here, right? I just enabled a bastion service. Rest all activities is being handled by the cloud service provider. In the backend, Microsoft is being handled this one. See how I handled the server one. Yes, it will work within a VNet. Wherever you have organization is been done, so there it will work. Right now, you can able to see here. If you go back to the VM, now if you go back to the VM here, on the whiteboard, we have enabled a bastion service here on the development one. So this is enabled in a VNet level. So I'm using a bastion service. This bastion got a two address. It's got a public IP address. This got a private IP address. So if I'm a user, if I need to connect to VM2 using a public IP address of bastion, I'm connecting, and internally this has been routing to VM2. Now I have another computer is been hosted in the same network. For example, like a VM3, I can able to connect it. See here. Now I don't need to enable a bastion service for that VM, because that VM has been completely, it's been organized or it's been configured in that VNet level. For example, like I have another VM on in a same development network. For example, like I have another VM. Right now, the system is a bit slow today. I'm not sure why this Azure portal is taking time today. Generally, it won't take right now if I'm selected, but it's taking time. There is some connection error it's getting, so not sure why. Look like there is some. Right now, I'm going to create another VM. So we are creating another VM on in the same network. Let's give it called VM3. So I'm attaching to the same network. I've been reviewed and created. Validation, some mistake, maybe the password only. Maybe the password is been wrong. No worry. It's in within an organization or within a VNet, it will work. So create here. So the VM3 on in a different network is in progress. So deployment of the, you can able to see here. Now let's see how VM3 also is able to connect it here. So let's wait. So VM3 is being completed now. Now, if you go back to virtual machine details, you have VM3 has been ready, and you may be able to see here. This has been attached to the development network here. See now, I don't need a public IP address for connecting here. The same Bastion service I can use because see here, I can use the same Bastion service here. So, so I'll be able to use it here. So this handout for Bastion service, I've been uploaded on the WhatsApp group. Right now, you can able to see in the WhatsApp group, the handout for Bastion service is being uploaded. Now you can able to see the Bastion handout right away. It's been uploaded on in the. You can able to see on the WhatsApp group now. The handout is being available there. Uploaded. What is Bastion service? How to configure and all the details is been shared on in a WhatsApp group. You can able to. So handout is been uploaded there. Right now you can able to see another VM also. It's been connected using a Bastion host. But the moment when you're trying to connect a server one or a VM1, VM1 is been different network, right? So VM1, I'll not be able to use it to VM1 here. So you can able to see here. Right now you can able to see like if you're trying to connect to VM1 here, VM1 or VM1, it's been loading time, taking time. Right now you may be able to connect it here. This has been attached to a prod VNet. We are not able to connect it here. For example, like if you're trying to connect it here, this will give you a message saying that there is no Bastion service is being deployed here. So the reason it's been like this VM or this computer is been attached to a different VNet. That the reason it's getting a message saying that this Bastion is not able to configure it here because this has been attached to a prod VNet. So end of this session, you need to understand the Bastion service is always is been configured in a VNet level, not in a subnet level. So if you have a Bastion service is been configured, if you have a multiple computer is been configured on the same VNet, you will be able to connect to all the VM. For example, like you have a 1,000 VM is been connected, all this will be able to connect through a Bastion service. So this Bastion will have a public IP address will be available. So you don't need any additional gem server or a gateway server. So all the traffic from the gem server to VM is been completely, it's been encrypted also. So with that note, we are winding today's event. So we have a 2 hour session today, and we thought of so like yeah, it's been not RDP. RDP has been completely removed, Mark. So you may be seeing like how this was connecting. This was connecting using a protocol of HTTP and HTTPS. You may be able to see here the communication was established with the help of a HTTP protocol. See, there is no RDP protocol here. RDP has been completely, it's been removed here. So the entire communication from Bastion to VM has been going through a HTTPS only. There is no RDP here. RDP was using when you are trying to connect using a public IP address. So here it's been completely through a HTTP or HTTPS we are doing. Clear? Now, with that note, we are concluding today's session is 1 hour before, and this 1 hour will be compensated in the next 2 days. Any question before concluding this event? And attendance form is being uh, shared on the uh, Teams by Swirak, and the handout for today's session is being uploaded on the WhatsApp. Rest of the document will be uploading in the post lunch. Any questions from any members? If you're good, requesting you to put a 1, 2, or 3 in the chat. What are the limitations of Bastion? There is a pricing, Susan, because there is a pricing easier. That is the only limitation. So there's a pricing is needed. So, we won't use a public IP address and Bastion together, Santosh, because uh, for each public IP address we need to pay the money. So we won't use a public IP address and Bastion service together. Recording will be uploaded on the Discord link. So tomorrow's plan, we will be completing Azure DDoS, NSG, and we'll complete routing and we'll complete firewall also. These are the 4 modules we are planning to cover it tomorrow. So on the same time and with a practical way of uh, session will be delivering tomorrow. So thank you team, and Surag, over to you.
Thank you, Robin, for the session. And I hope you guys had a great session today. Sorry, it's winding up 1 hour earlier, but we'll be compensating tomorrow. So make sure you do everything that is in accordingly so that you can be there in the meeting uh, longer time. So see you tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, and the handout has been already uploaded. 2 hours class is good. Yeah, at least we'll be able to handle this one. Yeah, but we need to complete latch the topic also. That's the reason like we have taken it's a 3 hour. So thank you all the friends here, and we are just pausing the day only, but live presence is we have available on the WhatsApp. So if you have any question, we are happy to connect it there. So post your use that platform for connecting. That is going to be a professional connect. So that we are not going to dismantle after this event. Okay, that's been a connect for us. Okay, so use only that professional connect. Because many times, like when we are creating a WhatsApp group, the second day onwards, only good morning, good afternoon, and good night. So don't use it for that. Use only for connecting, discussing, or a professional connect or any technical discussion. Happy to use that group. So thank you, team. Have a great day and talk to you tomorrow. And thank you, Sirak.